Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 3SSRTV. I'm your host, Peter Tseros, and next to me is your other host, Chad Phillips.
Thank you very much, Peter. Big show for you today on 3SSRTV with the latest in music, gaming, travel, sports, and street walk.
But before we go to that, right, as we usually do, I need to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
All right. Now, on the way here, we go up this elevator thing, and it's, when did it become like, is it common courtesy or is it common sense where you got to let the people off the elevator before, the people that want to get on, go on? Like,
generally, that's just a common sense thing. That's like a kind thing. Have you not been doing that?
I just thought when I got to the elevator today, I thought, you know what? I didn't want to let them off, so I just sort of ran in.
So you ran in?
I ran in as well. So I not only, I could have caused there was a lot of people in the elevator.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have ran.
Yeah. And I'd imagine that the actual elevator wouldn't be running because there's a weight limit as well when it comes to that.
No, there weren't that many people in it.
So, like, when you interact with society, are you just a menace in general, or?
I don't know, but apparently I did get told off for trying to use the elevator as a change room as well.
Oh, as a change room as well?
Apparently that's inappropriate too, so.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
And
should I have also not used it as a bathroom?
Yeah, and also just remind me, whenever we ride an elevator, for me not to jump on the same elevator, I'll just use the fire exit.
Well, if we're both doing the wrong thing, it's okay.
No, I think it's generally just you who's doing it.
All right.
Yeah.
So wait till people get off the elevator first, no change rooms, and not using it as a bathroom.
Yeah.
Right,
I think
I got it now.
Especially the bathroom bit.
Especially I can do the other two bits, but not the third bit.
Well, you really shouldn't do any of those bits, but
okay.
this is especially the bathroom bits. We're going to go into the latest in music with Jono.
Hi, I'm Jono Bodle, and welcome to 3SSR Music News for tonight. Laneway's 2015 lineup has just been dropped. It includes acts like Banks, St Vincent, John Hopkins, Royal Blood, and international acts like Jungle, Mac DeMarco, and Little Dragon. Some of the local stuff is going to be from Flight Facilities, Pond, and one of my personal favourites, Courtney Barnett. That's going to be happening on the 7th of Feb next year at the Footscray Community and Arts Centre and at the River's Edge. So get along to that one, and the tickets, I reckon, are going to be selling pretty quickly. In some ARIA Award news, and what about Chet Faker, the bearded dragon, taking out a whopping 9 nominations this year, including Best Artist, Best Album of the Year, and Breakthrough Artists. Dan Sultan's collected 5 nominations. My boys Violent Soho have got 4. And Hilltop Hoods, John Butler Trio, and Rufus all have 3 each. Other nominations include Angus and Julia Stone, Vance Joy, The Amity Affliction, and Paul Kelly, just to name a few. Now, the ARIA Awards takes place on the 26th of November this year, and that's going to be happening at the Star in Sydney, and we'll be sure to have all the latest after that event happens. Still on the Chet Faker bandwagon, he's going to be headlining a new Australian festival with Matt Corby. It's called Vans Fest, and it's going to be held in Forbes, New South Wales on Boxing Day this year. Some of the other Aussie acts include Sneaky Sound System, All Day, Bag Raiders, and just on the down low, English rockers British India are going to be joining that bill. It's a brand new Australian music festival, and so get along and support them there. It's great to see festivals like this one starting here in Australia. Now, while Michael Thompson is away, I thought I'd slip this in about his favourite Canadian band, Nickelback. Now, an Englishman called Craig Mandel has started a Kickstarter campaign in an attempt to stop Nickelback visiting London. He's aptly named the campaign Don't Let Nickelback, and promises donators that with the donations he's received, money will be sent to charity or, to quote Craig, therapy for those who have been affected by the band throughout the years. He's also promised that he'll send an email straight to the Canadian band's management on your behalf. I'm Jono Bodle, and if you want to hear my story about the broken pencil, then don't, because because there's probably no point.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks, Jono, and he'll be back next week with, I think, Tom Spottiswoode and Michael Thompson as well.
Yes, but in the meantime, we're going to go with the latest in travel with Jess and Crystal with Hidden Wonders of Australia.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Hidden Wonders of Australia. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Jess.
And today we will be talking about one of my favourite destinations in the world, the amazing Airlie Beach. Situated on the Whitsunday region of Queensland, this location is one of the departure points for the Great Barrier Reef. There are a number of different boating companies which take tours to the reef and the surrounding islands. While you're there, definitely head over to Hamilton Island for some luxury and Blue Pearl Bay for some amazing snorkelling. Airlie Beach is ideal for backpackers as it is a small yet beautiful beach with plenty of entertainment from buskers to pristine blue waters.
Definitely beautiful. But first up, the Airlie Beach Lagoon is situated right in the centre of Airlie Beach, and it's become one of the focal points of the area. Officially opening in 2011, the experiences on offer are not just a result of the physical facilities, but rather a combination of natural, man-made attributes that allow a visitor to enjoy the beach with all its security and support.
Yeah, definitely.
The lagoon is surrounded by grassy hills, and it's perfect for a spot of sunbathing or finding a quiet spot in the shade to just read a book.
Exactly, it's perfect.
It's awesome.
Airlie Beach is famous for international travellers, being an iconic location and one of the great wonders of the world, but more recently it's becoming a great location for schoolies.
Definitely.
Instead of the hustle and bustle of Gold Coast, Airlie Beach is ideal for the beach and water scene, but also home to the greatest beach parties in Australia. It's the ideal location for groups to meet people from all over the globe, as it's a huge backpackers scene.
Definitely check it out.
It's awesome.
But that's all we have time for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks, Crystal and Jess. And, you know, if you told me 3 years ago, I might have checked out there, but I've kind of already went on schoolies for, you know, I've been there about 4 times now. But yeah, been to schoolies.
Still stay tuned. We got a lot more with sports, gaming and street walk right here on 3SSRTV. You're watching 3SSR TV right here on C31. Plenty more to come into the program, but right now we're going to go in the latest with AFL with John Donohoe and Peter Sirof.
G'day guys, welcome to another edition of 3SSR Footy Hit. I'm John Donohoe here as always with Peter Sirof. And Pete, we're going through the reviews for the season for the next 3 teams, which is West Coast, Richmond and Essendon. We'll start with West Coast. What do you think of their year?
I thought they had a pretty good year. They started off really well, and I thought they were a guaranteed chance of the finals, especially after the first month of footy. Though they did drop off very late or midway through the season and then picked up again late in the year. They did just miss the finals. They made it 9th. So they had a very good season overall. But it just wasn't... It's an improvement from the last year, but it wasn't the finish that they quite wanted. I'm sure they would have loved to have made it in the
Would it
eight.
be fair to say that it was a failed year? I would have thought it was a failed year. They've got a talented list. Josh Kennedy's on fire. You know, they've got a great midfield. Brownlow medalist now. You would think that they were capable of making the finals.
I think they were. I think they should have been pushing for finals. Yeah, they did push for finals, and they definitely should have made finals. But that's the thing. There are so many clubs that are in that position where they're good enough to make finals. But who do you take out of that top 8? That top 8 were fantastic this year, and they thoroughly deserve to be there as well. So who do you take out of that top 8? No one. So they'll just stiff.
And so they've lost Dean Cox and Darren Glass. What do you think they need to fill come this trade period?
Yeah, West
obviously?
Coast are completely Coxless now. They have no more Cox.
That old chestnut.
They love the Cox down there, don't they?
What do you think they'd be looking for in the off season?
More Cox. No, they're going to need a ruckman to fill the Dean Cox role. Obviously, you got Nick Naitanui, who is a star, but
Luke Loudon from Hawthorn's available.
That's right. But you're going to need another player to take that dominant ruck role because Nick Naitanui can't be in the ruck 100% of the time, and he might get injured as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's word they're also keen on Travis Varco, so I'd say he'll end up at West Coast. We'll move on now to your beloved Tigers. They left it late, mate, but they got there in the end. They finished 8th on the ladder. But really couldn't get past a rampaging Port Adelaide in the first final.
Yeah, that was disgusting. It was credit to them that they made the finals. They had to win 9 games in a row, and they weren't soft 9 games. They beat teams like Adelaide and West Coast who were fighting for a top 8 spot. They beat the teams that were in the... They beat Port Adelaide to get to the 8. They beat Sydney. They beat Essendon. They beat good clubs, but they just couldn't do it when it came to the finals. Credit to them. Hopefully they can improve next year. A lot of players got delisted from from Richmond, but hopefully we could pick up a few good players as well.
Yeah, Jason Winderlich looks set to be heading to Tigerland. What do you think of that?
Yeah, he'd be a good recruit. I don't think our midfield's our problem. I think
I think you need a key back just to help out Rance.
yeah, key back, all Australian fullback. Now we've got a few players that are. I think we've got.
I think you need another experienced back. Obviously,
Yeah.
Rance is there,
Well, we got
and you need
Chapman.
someone to help out. Schoenmakers might do the job. He's still young, but I think there's someone needs to go back there and help out Alex Rance.
Well, obviously for Grimes or an Asprey. I remember Asprey started the season off very well, improved quite a bit, and then got injured and he couldn't get back into the team. If he can improve, that'd be fantastic. We know he's a player that can go forward and back. I remember his debut 4 years ago. He kicked 3 goals on debut. So the kid can play. It's just that he's had a lot of injury problems. So if he can get past that, he'll do fine. Grimes had first uninjured, or not uninjured, but
Injury-free,
best injury-free season he's had. So hopefully he could take that extra step as well.
Yeah, you thinking they'll move up again next year, up the ladder?
I definitely think so. I think Vickery is going to be red hot after missing the finals this year. The thing is, he still kicked about 30 goals for the season.
He just had a brain fade late in the year.
He only played half the games.
Yeah.
He got dropped twice, and not just dropped for 1 or 2 weeks. He missed a couple of months of football as well, and he kicked over 30 goals. This is the talent that this kid has, and a lot of people don't give him credit. He has talent. Griffiths is another player that looks good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of young players that are going to be on the rise, and another preseason into Brandon Ellis, Anthony Miles,
Dustin Martin.
Dustin Martin. They'll be really good next year. So I think the Tigers are right up with a chance. Finally, Essendon. It's panic stations at Essendon once again. Coach is unknown. James Hird stays for now. Players are leaving. Paddy Ryder's gone. Winderlich's gone. A couple of young players want out as well. But they did well to finish 7th this year. Well coached by Mark Thompson. What do you make of their year?
I thought their year was successful. I said that they're going to make the 8, and they deserve to make the 8 after, they should have been there last year in the top 8. They responded from last season. I thought their season wasn't that great, but it was good enough to make the finals. They had a few disappointing losses. There was about a month where they couldn't kick over 65 points, if you remember that.
Yep.
I don't know how they scraped wins there. And, it was good that they got the wins. They got in the 8. I personally think they should have beaten North Melbourne. They were 35 points up at one stage. But
They'll
credit
learn.
to them. Hopefully we'll see what they do next year.
They'll learn. They haven't won a final, obviously, since 2004, I think it was. So they'll be back. But look, with the amount of players leaving, it could be a tough year. And it's not a very good club to be around at the moment, I would have thought. But that's all we got, Tom.
Paul Chapman was a good recruit, though.
He was a good recruit, but
recruit.
they're going to lose a lot in Paddy Ryder.
True.
Anyway, that's all we got time for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm John Dono. He's Peter Saros. Until next week, goodbye.
G'day guys, and the A-League has finally started. It's finally here. I'm excited, and I know the rest of Australia is excited. So I'm going to give you a preview of the upcoming round of this week's A-League. Starting off the week, we have Melbourne Victory against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Well, it should be a fantastic game. Last time this happened, there was riots in the streets, riots in the stadiums, and riots on the football pitch, and I expect it to be no different come this time around. The Western Sydney Wanderers have had a fantastic pre-season. They've got themselves all the way to the Asian Champions League final, but I do expect the Melbourne Victory to come out strong on home turf and get the 3 points. On Saturday, the first game on Saturday is the Central Coast Mariners against the Newcastle Jets. I'm going to be putting my faith beside the Central Coast Mariners on this one to start off strong. Newcastle's form in previous years has been a bit up and down. We know that they're slow starters, but they will want to improve. However, I do feel that the Central Coast Mariners will be too strong for them this time around. Saturday night is another absolute blockbuster. We have Sydney FC taking on the new boys of the competition, if you can call them the new boys, Melbourne City. This should be an absolutely fantastic game. We don't know yet whether David Villa is going to start the match, however, but we know that Sydney FC are going to come out firing. They want to teach Melbourne City a lesson that you might be able to have all the money, you might be able to have all the international players, but we're not going to let you buy the league. So I'm going to give Sydney FC this one, and it's only going to be by a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a 90-minute thriller goal to finish off that game. Then finally, on Sunday, we have the Wellington Phoenix against Perth Glory. I'm expecting Wellington to take this one out quite comfortably and make their home stadium an absolute fortress for any team travelling across to the NZ. And the last game of the season, of the round, we have the Brisbane Roar, the defending champions, coming up against Adelaide United. Adelaide, look, they will start off strong, but I'm expecting Brisbane to get out of the blocks like absolute champions like we know they are. They've been so strong the last couple of seasons, and I expect it to keep it going. They've recruited well, they've got the bulk of their team still there, and I expect them to keep on going this season. So I'm looking forward to the start of the A-League season. I hope you guys are looking forward to the A-League season in the studio. So I'm going to pass it on back to you. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Alex. The latest with soccer. Stick around, plenty more to come right here on 3SSRTV with Street Walk and Gaming. You're watching 3SSRTV right here on C31.
That's right, but for now we're going to head off to everything gaming with the Swing Gamers, Sean and Ricky.
Hello there, I'm Sean.
I'm Ricky.
And we're here from Swing Gamers, here to talk to you about the next Halo game. Now, it's the Halo Master Chief Collection. It's not number 5, which a lot of people thought it would be. However, this collection, it looks like it's a must-have for Xbox One owners. Isn't that right, Ricky?
Yeah, that's right. This takes every single Halo game, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 that involve the Master Chief, and puts it into one big collection on one disc on the Xbox One. And along with that, you get Halo 2 gets the anniversary edition that Halo 1 got a few years ago. So it's been completely remastered in full HD. It will now be running at 1080p, 60 frames per second, as will all the other 3 games as well. And we actually had a chance to play it at the EB Expo a few weeks ago, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that's right. Like, the game looks really good. It looks really pretty. When you go from something like Call of Duty to Halo, you do kind of miss the sprint option, but the function. However, the game is really good in terms of the graphics and all that. They've really upped themselves with the HD remastering of it. Even the cutscenes as well. The cutscenes look absolutely terrific. Blur managed to handle those, and they looked really sublime. Like, I'm really excited just to get the game again. Yes, I've got pretty much all the Halos already. I still want to get it on the Xbox One because they just look so good, and it'd be nice for me to be able to play Halo online on the Xbox One with friends, because that's definitely something that it's pushing towards.
Yeah, that's right. And look, as a massive Halo fan myself, I cannot wait for this to have all the games in just one place. And they've released all of the Halo multiplayer maps at launch. So you get every single map from Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4 in full HD, ready to play on day one. There's no DLC, there's none of that. It's all there, ready for you to go straight away, which I think is absolutely fantastic from 343 Studio. It's just awesome that they're giving us all this content straight away, and you can actually make your own multiplayer playlists. So if you like certain maps, like the really small sort of 2 to 4 player maps, or you like the really massive sort of Valhalla 16 player, 32 player maps, you can have multiplayer maps sort of in a playlist and go through them one by one and play like that, which I think is a really, really cool little thing they've put into the game for all like the really big fans of Halo.
Yeah, and the same thing happens with the campaign. So if you like all the missions with Sergeant Johnson, say, you can line them all up from all 4 games and just play that and just live through Johnson's memories through the 4 games. So I don't know, it's kind of a fan service. It's like Smash Bros to Nintendo. It's a fan service to Halo fans, and it's definitely something that they want to grab. It'd be interesting to see if they add any extra maps to any of the games, but chances are they're probably going to hold off on it. Maybe do some sort of multiplayer sort of thing, maybe like Reach with the challenges, leading up to Halo 5 next year. But all in all, it looks like it's a must-have for any Xbox One owner who has played Halo before and who loves the game.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I think there may be a few little bits and pieces in there as a lead up to Halo 5. Now, I know that people that pre-order it get the Halo 5 multiplayer beta, or get access to it day one, so we'll get like a little bit of a look at what the Halo 5 multiplayer will be like. But I think with the addition of like the terminals in the last few games, giving us more info on the backstory, I think the terminals in this game are going to give us a little couple of hints about what's going to happen in Halo 5.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a few little Easter eggs in there leading into what Halo 5 is going to be next year. And if you're a guy that goes after the terminals, then I recommend it for this game.
Yeah, so they're definitely seeing that they're going to tie in everything. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I really can't wait for this. Anyway, that's it for us this week. Make sure you grab Halo when it does come out, November 11th. I think it's meant to have a launch.
Yeah, it is November 11th.
Yeah, so November 11th, that's when Halo's coming out, Master Chief Collection. It's definitely a must-have. Anyway, that's it from us this week. So back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, guys. The latest in gaming from Swin Gamers.
Now, before we press on with the
Okay,
show, there's
yeah.
something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay, now you see it all the time, like
Yeah.
with news presenters, and then someone runs out the back and says something, you know, those few words. I'll show you what it is.
Peter. This is Chad again, and John here. Peter's not going to be here for the rest of the show.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
No.
We're not. Get excited as we leave the studio for street walk, I should say.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what to do, you know, with Steffi.
Hey guys, welcome to Street Walk. I'm Steffi.
And I'm Georgia, and today we're asking,
What is the worst dating experience you've ever had?
let's go find out. Here I have Rosie and Karen. Now, girls, what is your worst dating experience?
Turns out he was dating someone else.
Oh no, and how did you find that out?
His girlfriend actually called me to tell me.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's bad. Now, Karen, what happened to you?
Well, we tried to kiss and he ended up hitting my teeth with his, and it just turned out really messy. And no.
Was there blood?
There wasn't blood, but it was close enough.
So what's the worst dating experience you ever had?
So I took a girl to the beach and we had a few little drinks, but she actually threw up on the beach. I got way too drunk and we ended up having to call her parents, and they had to come from middle of Whoop Whoop and pick her up. And
Tell me about your worst date.
Okay, I was hanging out with this guy. It was the second time we hung out, and we were getting food together, and he started taking photos of me without telling me that he was taking the photos, and then sent them to me later on. And
So what's been your worst dating experience?
I went out for coffee with a guy and I asked about his weekend and he told me that he'd just shot like 14 foxes and all these rabbits. Was like dead set, like almost the first thing he said to me, which was a bit terrifying. So
That's really charming. Yeah.
it was horrible, worst experience, but
So I'm guessing that one didn't work out.
yeah, no, didn't get coffee with him again.
Fair enough. That's good. Thank you.
yes, definitely.
Have you caught up with him since?
Once. It was terrible.
Okay, that's it for him.
Definitely.
Thanks for your time.
All right, guys, that's Street Walk for this week.
And wow, we've had vomit, we've had teeth knocking, we've had foxes dying. Some of these dates have been pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty interesting. What's the worst one you've ever been on, Georgie?
Well, this is my boyfriend, but the first time we went out, we got Thai, and I ate the full chili not knowing, so had crazy burning milk, water, but it all went well and we're still together. What about
That's
you?
good. First one I ever went on was we went to see Bruno, the movie. That was bad. Yeah.
Just because of the movie and the outfit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's Street Walk for this week, guys. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter at 3SSRTV. We'll see you next week.
Sorry.
See, John.
You're on your last warning.
You all right now?
Yeah, got what I had to do done.
Yeah.
Probably should bring up my outbursts in the meetings more,
Yeah.
like the unicorn stuff a few weeks ago, and no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are done for the show for today. I hope you enjoyed 3SR TV.
That's right, guys. But remember to go on the website, which is at www.3ssr.org. That's it, yeah? I got it right? Yeah.
Oh, don't forget the apps as well.
No, that's right. the apps as well. I'm a bit shaken up from that guy. You know, he's
No excuse,
very
Peter.
mean security guy.
No excuse.
But anyway, yeah, go on the apps. They're available on both Android and iPhone, and like our Facebook pages as well.
And Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm Chad Phillips.
And I'm Peter Tsaros.
See ya.
Very well.
Let's go.
John? You're on your last warning.
That was a real punch.
You have to do it again. You idiot!
I wasn't expecting a real punch.
Oh God. This can't end well.
All right. No, you're not. Go away.
Yeah,
That was fun.
You didn't do
You didn't do the rip shirt.
I took my